Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters. This whole month, we've been looking at 5 steps to finding love. We started out with looking at your outlook and if you felt desperate or cynical, if you were eager or where you were in that. And then we talked about learning from your former partners so that you could take that gift that you may not realize you received, learn that lesson, and not have to repeat that lesson again, and even looking at your parents and other people around you in couples and what you might learn from them and why something didn't work or why it does. And then we talked about knowing what you want, what type of relationship, and what you're looking for so that you can be clear, and then asking also for something better, being open to it and not so locked in. The next step was to get out there and start dating. And I talked about internet dating and some of the things you can do that might help you and some of the things to watch out for. And there are more on that subject in the YouTube channel as well if you want more on each individual item. The last one we're going to talk about is to actually open your heart and listen to it. And maybe I should have done this one a little bit sooner, maybe before they get out there and date one. But when you are open, when you're ready and you're receptive for people, you're going to be drawing to you people that are better for you than if you're all tight and clenched and worried and concerned and afraid somebody's going to scam you or something. If you open and listen to your heart, you'll know when it's the right person, when it's somebody who is clearer and maybe cleaner towards their intentions towards you. Be open and listen when the connection is good, when the person not only has the right intentions, but when it feels like a good connection for you. If you open your heart and you say, all right, here I am. This is what I want. This is who I am. The universe will find a way to bring people to you. They'll find a way to say, hey, what about this one or this one? And each person would be a different experience for you. They'd be a different learning, a different growing. Not any, not any relationship, I'll repeat that again, is 100% perfect. So don't expect 100% happily ever after. You can have a happily ever after. However, you take the good with the bad, because you you grow together, you learn together. You might have some arguments and disagreements, or maybe you agree on most things. But whatever it may be, when you open your heart, you will allow yourself to bring those people in that are possibilities, future possibilities for where you might want to head. For somebody who you say, no, there's something about them, eh, and maybe you're too picky. Maybe you say, oh, no, and everybody tells you that. But then again, maybe they're just the wrong person for you. So be aware that there isn't only one person in the entire universe that's right for you, that there are many that you could have different experiences with. Some, of course, that are going to be a little more painful than others, and some that could be forever kind of love. The kind of love that isn't, I'll love you if, which no one truly wants, but which it seems like we get a lot of in the world, especially now when people feel like it should be easier. And I always thought love should be easy, which is probably why I didn't get married until I was over 50, because it just felt like it should be easy. And I never found it to be the case. I never really fell in love because it never felt like I had too many walls up. And when you start wanting to find love and you're looking at it going, why isn't it in my life? It's something you can look at. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll see what it is. You'll see why. Maybe it's you just don't want to put up with other people. Maybe you like being alone. I like being alone, but I also am not lonely generally. I get lonely occasionally. I want my friends, and I'd love to have a significant other and someone to go do things with when it comes to a partner. But I like being alone too. So it'll be interesting to see what I draw into my life when I'm ready to have that person. If you open your heart, you'll know when it's time to start looking. You'll know when what feels right. What area do you want to go into? Maybe it's not social media and you don't want to go out there and do an online dating service. Or maybe that's the only way you know how. And yet you don't know how. So it's okay. You can do YouTubes, you can find out what people want. I know that Matt Boggs is really interesting. Matthew Hussey is also very interesting, and they're both men, so they give you a man's perspective for women, and there are some women that give men perspective on, but I can't remember their names offhand. If you want to know, comment, and I'll look them up and leave you some names. I know I have them, I just don't have them offhand. So look at where you're at. Look at your heart. Are you ready? Are you truly ready? Are you too busy? If you're too busy to do this, don't give it your attention. It's not fair to someone. And realize that if you do draw a person into your life that you do want and you're too busy for them, will you let them go and they were the person that you should have had in your life? Or will you be willing to slow down a bit and allow them in? Perhaps you're somebody who's retired and you want to travel, but the person you meet is perfect for you, but they're still working and they're not going to retire for a couple of years. What do you do? Do you say, oh, no, you're not the right place in your life, I'm going to move on? Or do you travel on your own and then wait for them? And maybe they take some vacation, so you get a couple weeks with them once a year on travel. I mean, what do you do? So really look at what you want, what you're willing to do, how much time you have, and see if you want to find love now or if you need to do it sometime in the future because it's not really the right time yet. Priorities might be different. Maybe your timing is wrong. But look ahead 5 years or 10 years. Do you see your timing changing? And how would you feel if you didn't go out and look for love when and all of a sudden you're that much older? Would it matter to you? If you're a woman and you want to have children, it might matter to you depending on your age. If you're 35 and you haven't had children, was way not too late, but perhaps in 10 years you go, if I don't find somebody, I don't want to have kids when I'm 45. That means I'm going to be over 60 when they graduate from high school. I really don't want to do that. So maybe then you say, I think I will make time to date, to look into people. I think I need to do that. So just be aware. What do you want? I've asked you that before. What do you want? And when do you want it? That's another good question to ask yourself. When do you want it? And then be open to it. Know and listen to yourself. Listen to your heart so that you know what it is you're looking for. You know when you want it. And perhaps if you put it out in the universe in a way that's a positive, this is what I want sort of way, it will turn around. It might surprise you when it shows up or how the package looks of the other person, but be aware that it's not going to be exactly the way you've asked for it, more than likely, that you never know. So be open to something even better and a little different than what you've asked for and see what happens. But be open and listen because sometimes you're going to get some really great advice from the TV channel, from an advertisement that all of a sudden you're hearing 10 times in a row, and maybe you've heard it once in a year, and maybe you weren't paying attention, but all of a sudden you hear the same advertisement. Or you get a friend telling you, have you tried internet dating? What about this? Or, hey, I got somebody I'd love for you to meet. Or come to this party. There's going to be a bunch of singles there. Or whatever you hear. Pay attention, because a lot of times the universe doesn't answer the way we expect. The universe may answer with, oh, here's a different gift than what you wanted. Oh, here's one over here. These are opportunities that may appear once you open your heart and you listen. Listening is not only to your heart, but also to what other people and other things are happening around you, because those opportunities and possibilities may be coming right and left. And if we don't listen, if we don't take a step in the direction of those possibilities, then we may lose them and we may never find another one until, 20 years goes past maybe. So listen to yourself, listen to your heart, and connect in with the universe when you say, this is what I want. Show me. I'm ready. And then get out of the way and pay attention because people will show up. Things will happen. Learn from anything that you don't want to repeat and embrace those things that you do. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm Carol DeChaine. Please, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell notification if you want to know the next time that a video is posted. You can also hear more on my Connect to Joy podcast, which is available on pretty much all the podcast stations. And also, you can catch it on my YouTube channel. On my website, which is also, they're both called Connect to Joy. Connect, the number 2, joy.com for the website. More information on life coaching there, as well as Marconics multidimensional energy. And you can also contact me for information on past life readings. Until next time, please know that you deserve to find love. You are worthy, and you are more than enough to have that joyful and limitless life that you desire.